Welcome to a journey that might just change the way you think for the rest of your life. This isn't just a book review. This is a mirror that shows you who you are today and who you could become tomorrow. Today, we're diving deep into Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck, a book that reveals the one belief that separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. So get comfortable, open your mind, and prepare to meet the most powerful force in your life, your own mindset. Chapter 1, The Two Mindsets. What you believe about yourself shapes everything you do. Some people thrive in challenge. Others crumble. Carol Dweck uncovers the hidden mental model separating success from stagnation. Mindset. Fixed mindset believes abilities are set in stone. You're either smart or you're not. Growth mindset sees abilities as expandable through effort and learning. Many believe their talent defines them, so they avoid anything that might expose their limits. They strive for validation, not learning. They plateau early and fear failure. Others see failure as feedback. Challenge excites them. Even when they fall, they rise smarter. This mental shift rewrites everything, from academics and careers to love and parenting. Chapter 2, Inside the Mindsets. It's not just about effort, it's about the right kind of effort. Dweck breaks the mindsets open from the inside. A fixed mindset reacts to failure with shame or denial. A growth mindset asks, what can I learn from this? People with fixed mindsets interpret setbacks as personal shortcomings. They chase easy wins to protect their identity. Even praise can backfire. Calling someone smart often reinforces fear of mistakes. But when you praise the process, effort, strategy, perseverance, you invite resilience. The brain becomes a muscle, not a label. This isn't empty positivity. It's science. Neuroscience confirms that challenge rewires the brain. Growth is real if you're willing to stretch. Chapter 3, The Truth About Ability and Accomplishment. Natural talent is overrated and often destructive. The myth of genius still haunts classrooms and boardrooms. We idolize those who just get it. But that's not how mastery works. Talent may give someone a head start, but mindset determines the finish line. In study after study, Dweck shows how students with growth mindsets outperform their smarter peers. Because when talent fails, effort keeps going. Fixed mindset turns talent into a trap. If success comes easily, failure becomes unbearable. Athletes, musicians, and students alike burn out when identity is tied to perfection. But the most accomplished aren't the ones with the quickest start. They're the ones who kept going after the rest stopped. Chapter 4, Sports, The Mindset of a Champion. Champions aren't born. They're built in practice, failure, and grit. Michael Jordan wasn't cut from his high school team because he lacked talent. He just hadn't yet developed what he would become. This chapter reveals how mindset separates the elite from the average. Not ability, but attitude. Athletes with a fixed mindset crumble when challenged, needing constant reassurance. They blame others, fear competition, and avoid hard training. They want to look like winners more than become them. But champions practice harder after a loss. They study their mistakes. They seek tough competition to grow. Tiger Woods, Muhammad Ali, Serena Williams, their greatness lies in obsession with improvement, not perfection. Chapter 5, Business, Mindset, and Leadership. In the long run, mindset drives success more than genius ever could. In Silicon Valley, Steve Jobs is worshipped as a visionary. But Dweck warns of the CEO disease, when leaders surround themselves with yes men and stop growing. Fixed mindset leaders often build toxic cultures. They fear challenge and hoard credit. Enron and its collapse, fueled by image over improvement, is a case study in fixed mindset gone corporate. Growth mindset companies like GE or IBM under transformational leaders embraced learning from failure. They listened, adapted, empowered people. Leadership, Dweck says, is teachable. The best bosses aren't the smartest, they're the most willing to grow. Chapter 6, Relationships, Mindsets in Love or Not. In love, just like in life, mindset is the difference between growing closer or falling apart. In relationships, we think compatibility is fate. You're either meant to be or you're not. But that's the fixed mindset talking. Dweck shows how couples who believe love should be effortless fall apart at the first fight. Disagreements become signs of doom. Growth-minded couples expect hard conversations. They work through pain, evolve, and deepen over time. They believe people can change, and so love becomes stronger. From parenting to partnerships, mindset predicts not just satisfaction but survival. Chapter 7: Parents, Teachers, and Coaches, Where Mindsets Come From. The words we use to praise our children can shape their destiny. "You're so smart" sounds like praise, but it can become a curse. Dweck reveals how parents and teachers unintentionally install fixed mindsets by rewarding outcomes over effort. Children praised for being smart grow afraid of mistakes. They learn to perform, not persist. But praise for trying, struggling, solving. This builds courage. It teaches kids to value learning over looking good. Great teachers don't just deliver content. They teach how to struggle, how to reflect, how to grow. Great parents don't shield kids from failure. They help them navigate it with love and patience. Chapter 8: Changing Mindsets. You're not stuck with the mindset you have. Here lies Dweck's most hopeful message. Mindsets can be changed. It starts by hearing your inner dialogue, that voice that says, "I can't do this," or "I'm just not good at this." You challenge it. You name it. Then you replace it with, "I'm not good at this yet." The process of shifting mindset is slow. It requires self-awareness, courage, and consistency. But even recognizing the fixed mindset in yourself is the first transformation. People of all ages, from students to CEOs, have reshaped their lives using this lens. The brain, like the person, is always in motion, always becoming. Chapter 9: Changing a mindset isn't just a choice, it's a daily practice. The real change begins when no one is watching. It's easy to get inspired by growth mindset theory, but implementing it in the real world through rejection, frustration, or burnout is something else entirely. Most people shift mindset intellectually. They agree with the concept, but when life hits back, the old voice returns, "Maybe I'm not cut out for this." Changing mindset isn't a moment, it's a habit. It requires catching yourself in self-doubt and rewriting the script. This chapter explores how schools, workplaces, and families have created mindset-shifting environments. They don't just teach theory. They reward effort, challenge, and the long game. Each time someone chooses the harder road, praises the strategy, or reflects after a failure, the wiring changes. Neuroplasticity doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen with repetition, with faith, and with struggle. Chapter 10: False Growth Mindset. Saying you have a growth mindset is not the same as living it. As the idea of growth mindset exploded, so did its misinterpretations. Teachers and leaders started praising effort blindly. Companies added growth mindset to their values without any structural change. But just praising effort without teaching strategy or learning from failure can backfire. Students think all that matters is trying, even if nothing changes. Employees burn out doing more, not better. Growth mindset is not about sugarcoating struggle. It's about connecting effort to outcome. It's about feedback, reflection, and learning smarter, not just working harder. False growth mindset uses the language but not the mindset. True growth mindset requires vulnerability. It means being wrong, being humbled, and still pushing forward. It's not a buzzword. It's a practice of honesty and action. Chapter 11: Mindset in Organizations, Education, and Culture. A society that values learning over status builds giants. Zooming out, Dweck explores how entire systems can reflect mindset. Educational institutions, sports teams, and corporations all become reflections of their underlying beliefs. Some schools reward memorization and perfection. Others reward curiosity, improvement, and risk-taking. One produces fragile success, the other, lifelong learners. In business, some companies protect egos and punish mistakes. Others promote transparency, invite feedback, and reward resilience. Culture matters. It's not enough for individuals to change. The environment must support and reflect those values. Dweck highlights how countries, teams, and movements have thrived or fallen based on whether they embraced a growth culture. Where talent is worshipped, ego grows. Where growth is nurtured, greatness emerges. Chapter 12: Personal Stories of Transformation. When you change your mindset, your story changes with it. This chapter is filled with intimate stories of students, athletes, parents, and leaders who lived the transformation. A failing student turns into a confident scholar, not through tutoring, but mindset coaching. A tennis player on the brink of quitting becomes a national champion after shifting how she responds to losses. A manager learns to admit his mistakes, and suddenly his team starts outperforming every expectation. These stories aren't fairy tales. They're raw, messy, and real. Each one starts with resistance, old patterns, old voices, old shame. But each one turns when someone dares to try differently, think differently, respond differently. Dweck reminds us, change doesn't come from wishing. It comes from choosing, again and again. Chapter 13, Parenting and the Mindset Legacy. What you model becomes their mirror. Children don't just hear what we say, they absorb how we react to failure, to effort, to challenge. If a parent panics at a B grade, the child learns fear. If a coach criticizes losing, the athlete learns shame. But if adults model curiosity, reflection, and resilience, children internalize those scripts. Parenting becomes legacy work, not about raising perfect kids, but about shaping how they grow. Dweck emphasizes it's not about saying the right thing once. It's about a daily emotional environment. What you celebrate, what you punish, what you emphasize, it all builds the child's internal voice. And when that voice says, I can learn this, or I can grow from this, the future opens. Chapter 14, From Mindset to Identity. Who you believe you are defines who you become. At the heart of it all, mindset becomes identity. A fixed mindset says, I am this. A growth mindset says, I'm becoming this. When we adopt a growth identity, we stop chasing image. We chase substance. We stop needing to be the smartest and instead aim to learn the most. This shift isn't cosmetic. It's spiritual. It affects how we speak to ourselves, how we handle pain, how we define success. Instead of fearing not being enough, we embrace being in progress. We find confidence, not in being perfect, but in being adaptable. Dweck's message becomes a mirror. Will you define yourself by your past or by your potential? Chapter 15, Mindset and Mental Health. Growth mindset doesn't prevent pain, but it transforms how we carry it. In moments of depression, anxiety, or failure, the mind plays cruel tricks. I'm broken. I'll never change. I'm not good enough. Dweck explores how fixed mindset thinking can intensify emotional struggles. When people believe their traits are permanent, they feel trapped. Mental health becomes a verdict, not a journey. But with a growth mindset, pain becomes a signal, not an identity. Struggle becomes part of the process, not the end. Therapists using growth mindset principles have helped clients shift from helplessness to action, from this is who I am to this is what I'm working through. It's not magic, it's not instant, but it's empowering. Healing isn't linear, but mindset can be the difference between staying stuck and taking the next small step forward. Chapter 16, Education Reinvented. The classroom should be a training ground for life, not a performance stage. Imagine a school where mistakes are celebrated, where effort is the real grade, where students compete only with who they were yesterday. Dweck shares how entire schools have transformed through mindset. From low-performing districts to elite institutions, the change begins with how success is defined. Fixed mindset schools reward perfection and punish experimentation. They create fragile achievers. But growth mindset schools reward iteration, persistence, and curiosity. Even grading systems have been reimagined. One school replaced F's with not yet. The result? More resilience, more engagement, more hope. Mindset isn't just about academic success. It's about preparing students to thrive in life, where challenges never stop. Chapter 17, Why Mindset Works Across Cultures. The hunger to grow is a human instinct, not a Western ideal. Critics asked, is growth mindset just another American optimism trick? Dweck dives into global research, Asia, Africa, Europe, and the findings are universal. Across languages and traditions, people who see ability as expandable outperform those who see it as fixed. The specific values may vary, but the principle remains. In some cultures, persistence is a core virtue. In others, harmony or humility fuels learning. But everywhere, those who believe they can improve do. Mindset transcends borders. It's not about culture, it's about the brain. And the brain, no matter where it was born, is built to change. Chapter 18, The Final Choice. The greatest risk is not failure, it's never growing. After all the stories, studies, and strategies, Dweck brings the reader to a quiet crossroad. You can continue to protect your ego, avoid challenge, and stay safe, or you can lean into discomfort, embrace mistakes, and grow. Mindset is a lens, a choice, a lifestyle. It determines how you parent, lead, learn, love, and live. You don't control your circumstances. You don't control your natural gifts, but you do control how you respond, how you recover, how you rise. This final chapter doesn't ask for perfection. It invites commitment to practice, to persistence, to potential. Because greatness isn't born. It's built one choice at a time. If this video sparked even one new thought in your mind, imagine what the next one could do. Don't just leave with inspiration. Stay for transformation. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon because the version of you you're chasing, we're building it here, one video at a time. Let's grow together.